right now. Hi
Hi
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah, so welcome everyone to another live show from the subgenre book club. Today we will discuss the love hypothesis. As you know, if you are my channel, I'm Ugu from Science Reading World, and then this way.
Hi, I'm Melody from Strawberry Lemon Books.
I'm Natalie from Pastel Writer.
And Mel is a phonic, so she can talk. So she's gonna join us on the chat, as you all should join and talk about your thoughts of the book. We have a lot of things to talk about. I believe this one's gonna be long.
Really?
At least for me, I have a lot to talk about.
I mean, once I pull up my review, I'm gonna have things to say.
I wrote a full notepad with all my things I put on the Kindle, so I don't have to like skim on the Kindle. It's always here. I can read it.
Love it. Love it.
So we are ready. So we start with a non-spoiler opinion, just what we thought, um, and then we go for a full spoiler because what is the fun of discussing a book if you don't go to the spoiler part? We have your cat already.
Hi,
Hi.
Kat.
Hi.
So, any of you want to start with your opinion of the book or the description? Maybe you should give the description. So,
I'm terrible at summaries. I do not volunteer.
the Love Hypothesis is a romance set in academia. It's a PhD student, Olive, that is a third year student who accidentally kisses a professor, and then they start fake dating because of
Peer
stupid
pressure.
yeah, and then it's that they handle the romance in very weird ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the summary.
All right.
Yes, I have a full power. I should do a PowerPoint. Damn, next time.
Oh my
Hi.
god.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
So, who wants to start about the film?
I can start us.
Oh,
So I gave it 3 stars. I had a lot of fun listening to the audiobook, honestly. I just mostly took the whole thing as a joke, and that made it enjoyable. Like, once I decided, you know what, nothing about this is serious, so I'm just here to laugh at the nonsense. It was a good time. It smooth sailing for me.
Yeah,
okay.
I think for me it was like 3.5. Yeah. I thought, yeah, I kind of just read it as like for pleasure. Like it wasn't like any like not that much like going into like reading into everything and stuff like that. It was more of like a rom-com kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I had a fun time reading it and I was like, oh, it's cute. And yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a Saturday rom com. Have you the other host? But yeah, I feel like it's very a rom com from Saturday, like afternoon or Sunday. Very musical. I also gave 3 stars. I didn't hate it, like Spanish Love Deception, but I also didn't fall in love with everything. You know,
Mm.
it's it was okay. Some fun parts, some boring parts, some sexy parts, but it passes.
Yeah.
Will be not something to remember.
Yeah. I don't think I loved any of the characters by the end of it or
No, I
anything.
didn't. And I can totally see this 2-star rating for me.
Yeah,
I, I
so
I can see it and I understand it.
I probably only like the friend from Adam, the one who is cute and fun.
Holden.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Holden.
like
Yeah,
Holden and Malcolm.
yeah. He's one of the better characters.
but it's
Everyone
so
else was just
side.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so side that you don't see a lot of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should get their own book.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
That's
So
I
Cat
hate
hilarious.
gave,
everyone except
gave the
Holden.
love.
I mean, Anne
Yeah.
is
Holden.
my enemy. Okay, Olive's BFF. That woman right
Ooh,
there is my enemy. I cannot
yeah.
stand her. I cannot stand it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Holden is our gay king. We stand.
Gay
Yes,
king.
I stand with that. But yeah, I think the main problem, one of the main problems, is Olive's best friend. She's very problematic.
So many of the things that she does, truly, if she were real, it would be on site. On site, I would fight that woman. I'm like, you and me, get ready. Get ready.
I it was so weird. All the times she was on the book as a character, I felt like, what she's gonna do next? What's gonna happen next that you do? That's doing everything.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
Malcolm was more understandable, but sometimes he was a little bit also over the top, but less than the friend that I don't remember the name.
Yeah. What else? Okay, how can we keep this still spoiler free? I mean,
I
for me,
I thought,
mhm.
sorry, I thought it was the steamy part was too steamy. It was like almost porn because it was like, okay, it started then started to be totally graphic. I was like, am I reading porn or is this normal?
A hard disagree on my end. Hard disagree. Hard disagree. I'm like, if anything, one, sure, there was steam, but it basically got to a point where I was just uncomfortable. I'm
Mhm.
like, the way it was told, I was like, why are you telling it this way?
That was my point. It was too much hard and too much explicit, maybe to
I
be,
like details, so I don't
but,
mind
but not that
details.
detailed.
But yeah, I feel like she was giving the wrong details. I feel like the author was giving the wrong details. I'm like, plus I have a whole thing with that scene where it was like basically on the cusp of non-consensual, and it
Mhm.
really bugged me. It really, really bugged me.
And
Uh,
we see that he is huge in every way. That's one of the first sentences she says on the book.
and she's so tiny and small in every way.
I can't right now.
Adam was so
Adam was so
stoic.
stuck through the book, and then all of a sudden we had to believe he was sex god.
Yeah.
Be for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, the transition was from 0 to 1 million. 1 million, 10 million, I don't know.
Yeah.
Adam was giving the,
Yes.
yeah, because he was so thing, and then he's like, no, I know how to do this.
Actually, the book I'm listening to right now has the same thing where like the love interest gives virgin vibes and then suddenly he's like a sex god and I'm like, where was this hiding? Because he was giving virgin.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
his whole personality changed, and I was like, it's not really believable.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like when the characters do that. Like they're very just like Adam's exact type. Like they're serious, like neutral, whatever. And then suddenly in the bedroom is like an entirely different entity. And I'm like,
maybe,
I'm sure some people are like that, but I cannot accept it.
maybe he did a postdoc or postgrad in sex tactics. That is
No.
the only explanation. I don't know. In spoiler free, what can I say? The first part of the book is a little bit. I don't know. The first part is not the most fast. It's like, yeah, you're building and you're seeing some um problems that they cause in the characters, and then you see them a little bit more connected. But I think there is too many lines. You have like her drama, and then the drama with the boyfriend, and then the boyfriend with the fake. You have so many lines to follow because then you start to the guy that she's going to work in Harvard that comes and is best friend of Adam. There's too many lines interconnecting that sometimes you're like, what is the focus now?
Hmm.
I see.
I finished this in a day, so everything was still like fresh in my head. So that wasn't
Melody,
a problem for me. But I
Melody's
can
like
see
it's
that.
seamless.
Melody is our fast reader. He's like, nope, I'm gonna start today and finish today. Done.
I
Yeah.
cannot do that. I cannot do that.
The person really was an asshole, but you just
But
he's
see,
huge in
that's
every
one of
way.
the things. Where is the asshole behavior? I want to
Yeah,
see it. I want to
we,
find it
we
because
never we
He,
I
never
yeah,
saw
we
it.
didn't see it.
nowhere.
That
Absolutely nowhere.
that's one of the things I have here. Like there is a thing that happened on chapter 2 that we never know the why. It's just it happened, and then because of that, he's an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
The girls
And
cry out of the office. Why? Maybe they are
Yeah.
stupid. Maybe they are sensitive. You
Yeah.
know, maybe he just said like, "Well, this is bad," and then they start crying. There are people like that. They cannot handle a simple criticism.
Yeah. I think it was just like the author said that this has happened multiple times. So then he's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
we should believe that. We
yeah,
should talk
but
about the real
at
tragedy in the
the
book.
end of the day, he's just trying to make them good scientists.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he just wants to be. He has a high standard, and he has a high. Okay, this is what it must be, so we don't become faulty, which is true. So it's not a bad thing. It's just some people can handle that pressure of you have to do everything correctly and how it should be done.
I feel like he's that one professor or TF that's like really nitpicky about everything and docks point off for the smallest things. And you're
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, this man. But like, he's
but
doing
then
his
he has a
job.
point because he doesn't do
Yeah.
things like because he likes it. It's because it's not well done or it's not correctly.
Yeah.
So, the real tragedy in the book, Holly's disgusting ass taste in food. A bagel with cream cheese and ketchup. I just put ketchup on my fries and my like pasta, not in bagels, I think.
I love ketchup, but not to this point.
Yeah. Not
I
in a
don't.
Maybe
This is too
bagel.
much.
maybe you should try. Maybe it's good.
And with
I'm
cream
scared.
cheese.
I'm
I'm just
scared.
trying to imagine like the consistency that would be.
Was anyone else bored at parts though? It feels so sluggy at parts. Yes. I found some parts were like very long and not worth it to be that long.
I think so, but I can't remember anymore if I'm being honest.
I remember there were some parts I was reading. I was like, "Ah, please skip, 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 skip," and I'm like, I need to skip some part.
No, for me, the truly skippable parts are Olive being fucking oblivious the whole time. She's like, he could not possibly have any kinds of feelings for me. And
But
I'm like, what do you need that man to do to take a bullet for you in front of you right now? Like,
maybe, maybe. That's the thing. That's the second Steam women that we read that is oblivious about feelings. They are super smart, but when it comes to feelings, they have zero sense.
yeah. And I'm just,
Yeah.
I was truly confused. I was like, how can you not see every single thing this man is doing for you? Get a grip. Get a fucking grip. I'm like, no, she was waiting for that man to take a bullet for her or something because I'm like, hello. And then
And
other
then,
people would say things indirectly and she would be like nothing. Like it would wash over her as if nothing. And
but
I'm like, you do know they're trying to tell you that he has serious feelings about you. Do you? No. No, she does not know.
so, um, Mel says Adam was not an asshole at all. People were just being dramatic as hell. There was a straight off Twilight scene. Yes, when Adam has to
Yes.
push the car from the parking lot, everyone was like, "Oh, he's so strong." Yeah, that was like I didn't understand how he pulled the car and how big the car. I was like, "It's a fucking car. That's heavy."
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was like a truck or something, like a 4x4 or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No, this author, I have just found that this author just has a thing for like superhuman strength and tallness and all of that. That's like her jam. Because I watched a review for her newest novel.
Hmm.
Um, and all of it was about how gigantuan the dude is. And like the comparisons are truly bizarre. I'm like, why are you making this poor man superhuman? Why? And the obsession is here too with how tall and big he is. And I'm like, girl, calm down.
Well, she based the Adam on Adam Driver, so it's
Yeah.
is 6'2", which is not very tall. It's
Wait,
enough.
he's
It's not that
6'2"?
tall.
Yeah,
6'2"
it's 6'2".
is not that tall. Of course it's
My
tall.
boy, my
Like,
boyfriend is I need to see because I don't know in fit. But my boyfriend is 4'4", 6'4", sorry, 6'4", and he's huge.
That's pretty tall.
see,
Yeah.
so he's even
not-
bigger than this fucking idiot.
Yeah,
I think she's like 5'8" too, or something.
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
not even that small.
I was
5'8".
like, most guys are like a foot taller than me,
I'm-
but I don't think they're that tall.
I am 5'8", so she's my size. So she's not small.
She's not
She's
small.
even taller for a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Mount Everest. Yeah, he's like 3 meters tall. I was remember something and then I forgot. Shit. Well, never mind. It will come back eventually. I remember. I think this goes a little bit too spoiler, so maybe we should start the spoiler part because it's the most interesting part.
I'm okay with that.
I'm cool with that.
So, she listened to this man in the bathroom speaking with a very distinctive voice, and in 3 years she is with him. She never remembers that the fucking voice is the same. It's a voice. It's something that you don't forget that easily.
Especially if you're gonna remember it for years later.
For years, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is a formative memory for you. Okay, then how?
Did you not associate with this voice? Sounds familiar.
Because the true answer is that Olive is dumb. The true answer at the end of the day is
She's
that
fake.
Olive is dumb.
She fake all college. I knew it. Yeah. Now is Olive must. She's also blind, so she's a little blind, so she may have like problems distinguish heights.
Speaking of blind, that's another example of her being dumb. The whole contact lenses thing. Like, she's trying to have those contacts, those expired contacts.
I-
on
3
for
years
hours.
expired.
I have a doubt. The expiry date is like the one that is on the bottle, or he's like she's been using the same lens for 3 years. Because I was very confused.
Whichever is scary, okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Because,
matter.
like,
I don't think you can buy expired contacts.
yeah, you cannot buy them.
Yeah. So
No.
So that's the thing. And if she's using for that long, you can because it's not comfortable. I
think
have
it goes up.
lens, and after 2 months, which is my maximum, they start to get dry, and it's hurtful. So I was very
Yes.
confused with like she bought expired lens like in the dark market, in the dark web.
No, I'm guessing potentially it's like me that I've had, like, I got some, like, a whole year worth of
Mhm.
contacts one
Mm.
time. But I didn't use them enough to actually go through them.
And
And
then
so
you
they can
reuse it.
expire because they're still there, and I haven't opened the little packet of the lens. So I'm assuming it's something along those lines. But again, I'm like, why are you dumb? You're a scientist. Why are you putting these things into your eyeballs? And like Adam said, eyes are in fact expensive. You fuck
Yeah.
those up for real. Good luck.
Yeah, and because it's not even like everyone likes. I prefer to use lenses than glasses, but like you can use still glasses. It's not
Yeah.
meant for-
Yeah.
It's not like a earpiece that you are deaf and then you have to use the earpiece to listen if you want. It's like you can put glasses on, and glasses are much cheaper and takes longer to deteriorate than lenses.
Yeah.
Lenses is aesthetic matter only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who
No,
knows
I
what's
don't
going
get
through her
it.
mind?
Kat says she's walking bones, like during the sex scene when she was talking about her ribs and her hip bone, but she hits like a truck.
Yeah,
She
I
always,
mean, it's possible because
yeah,
I've met people like that, that like they have the worst diet you could ever imagine,
and then they are
and they
skinny.
are sick.
Mm.
Okay, they are super, super skinny. So impossible, no. But number three, she would know
Yeah,
better. Yes, exactly.
everyone should know better.
One would think.
Conduct a scientific study to figure
And
out
because
whether you should do that.
we all know that eyes are very precious. You cannot repair an eye.
Yeah.
If you go blind, you cannot undo that. So why should you be exposed to that?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. No.
I understand that she was poor, but glasses.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you a broke ass bitch. Okay, get one pair of glasses and use those bitches for 3, 5 years, whatever. Because I
Save
have
money,
friends
but
who have done that. I'm like, I know them
and
personally.
and for
Too.
scientists, glasses are even better than lenses because if you have glasses, you don't need to put goggles because you already have glasses. So you don't put goggles over glasses because that's dumb. You just
We had to do that in school.
I
yeah.
had to too.
We had to do, but professors are dumb. If you go to college, I did. My professor were like, "You have glasses, you don't need goggles because you will foggy everything. You just need the glasses."
No, all
And
our labs for chemistry, they're like, nope,
yeah,
you gotta put goggles on top. And I'm like, "Grr."
how do you see? It's impossible.
It's
You just hope
possible
your
to
glasses
see,
don't
but
break
it's
under
not.
those goggles.
Yeah. So I have here some points that I made, and I
Okay.
will start dissecting the book. So in chapter 1, she starts by saying the
By
word.
chapter.
My
Oh my
chapter.
God.
It's by chapter.
Hugo!
It's by chapter. So
You
she
needed to
starts.
make a slideshow presentation.
An
for your
organization king right here. That's what we're dealing with.
grade. Okay, hit us, Hugo.
It was not like a PowerPoint because I have too much thing, but it's on a notepad. So she says she's unappreciated, underpaid, and works 80 hours work week. 80 hours work week means she works 16 hours per day if she only works 5 days a week.
I mean, I don't have an answer to that.
How does she explain 80 hours? Like, if she says like 60, I would buy it because the normal time I work is 40. Now, 80 is the double
80
of 8 hours per day.
That's like 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how she's not dead yet?
I feel like it's also that they show a lot of her social life, like her going to like meet up for coffee and going to like
But
luncheons and
if
all
she
that.
has that time, if
Yeah.
she has time for that, how she doesn't work 8 hours, 80 hours per week?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
Like, if you work 80 hours per week, at the weekends we'll be like, I'm dying. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah. I don't
Then,
work 80 hours a week, and in the weekend I'm like, I'm dying. I don't want to do anything.
Honestly, I work 40
yeah,
hours and I'm like,
I'm
no.
like, do you want to go like walk? Nope. I want to stay home, like cozy.
Yeah.
My body needs to rest.
Yeah.
So, first thing. And then, this is Adam. He wants to put his reagent down the drain in the bathroom and also cleaning the materials. I have a question. What lab doesn't have a sink where you can wash the material? You have to go to a bathroom.
That is something that I didn't understand. I'm like, every lab I've
Has a
known
sink.
of has a sink already in the lab. Like, part of the
At least
structure of
one.
the lab is to have a sink to clean everything. Like, you don't
Yeah.
have to go to a separate bathroom to clean shit.
And then put the reagent down the drain. It depends on the reagent you put. You're not going to put like, dangerous things on the shoes. So,
Kill all the fishies.
yeah. Then she starts saying that because he's a PhD, he has a haughty, condescending tone.
He has a what? Wait, I didn't understand that.
So blah blah blah. I will mispronounce this, but it's Haughty, like
Haughty.
Haughty.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hottie.
condescending tone. How
Uh-huh.
does she explain that? Just because he's a PhD, he's mean.
Yes. Hugo,
Yeah,
didn't you know you have a haughty, condescending tone? Apparently.
automatically.
Yeah, according to all of you do.
Sorry about that. I will start using that tone more often.
All PhD people speak the same, exactly the same.
Then comes the most hilarious line: everything about him must be huge. Which came out to be true.
Melody's like, I'm gonna die now.
I almost killed Melody. Sorry.
I was in the middle of drinking water. I'll be back.
And that's how you can kill a co-host without being
Ugo.
murdered.
Wow, these murderous intent, hidden agenda right here. Ugo has a hidden agenda. What's the killing?
It's my condensation tone acting up.
Hugo's secretly trying to kill me.
Yep, that's the secret.
So from here we get a little bit of an Easter egg that everything about him is huge.
Yes.
So we knew him.
But again, we go back to the conversation of like it's an obsession for this
With
author.
huge.
She's obsessed with like men being ginormous, and then some of the comparisons, I'm like, why? I'm like, no.
Maybe the author is very small.
I don't know. I don't know if that information is available publicly, but I'm like, please control yourself.
So yeah, maybe she's very small and she likes very tall guys, but so Kat says, I look at her, she says she's a neuroscientist, but so much that she said doesn't add up with me. That's my problem. She's part of the academia, but a lot of things like she done incorrectly because of it, because she wanted. Like a drain is normal in the lab.
Yeah.
Well, continuing on, the last one in chapter 1 is you don't have much freedom in academia. Now, what she means by freedom, if you mean like you cannot do everything you want, yeah, that's exactly because you don't have unlimited money. But you have more freedom than in a job in an industry, because in industry you have bosses, and in academia you can definitely talk to your supervisor and say, I want to try this. And most of the times he will say, yes, do it. So you have freedom.
I mean, for me that one is complicated, I guess. Like I can see where she's coming from. And like obviously there's certain things that, well, like you can't just do whatever you want, because the system in place is, some of the systems, not everything, but some of the systems are for literal actual protection to make sure things are done in such a way that people are safe. But I think as well, you can't, separate the part of like the money, and like you can't convince people to give you money if you don't already have someone like a bigger person, like with already who has more acclaim backing you up. And you kind of have to filter in their shadow for quite a bit before you yourself can be taken seriously, and that can feel restricting. And again, within the context of the US, which is where the book is taking place, there's also the constraints of there being very few women in STEM, precisely because it's so male dominated that they don't listen to them. And I had a friend share with me that literally they've had multiple experiences where a professor will ask a question and she will give the answer, and he'll be like, no, but then a male student gives the exact same answer that she did, and then he's like, oh yeah, amazing, perfect, that's exactly what I was looking for. And so I think all of that could to some extent be tied into that concept of there not being that much freedom in academia. Again, obviously it's just one sentence in a paragraph, but I'm speaking more in terms of the whole book, not just that one sentence. So I think, yeah, it's complicated. It's complicated.
Yeah, because for me it's very weird because in Europe there is definitely more women in STEM than men. Like
Oh.
90% of my teachers in my college degree, bachelor and master's, was women. So it's very different.
Yeah.
I did not know that about Europe.
Yeah,
That's
my
really
both.
cool.
Yeah, like I have two supervisors, so women. We had like the two conferences that I went these 2 months. Most of the invited speakers were women, like 50-50 almost. So it's more equivalent. Of course, if they come from the state, they are mostly men. Yeah, that's true. But if you go for Poland, yeah, there is a woman that is chief of the department. There is one that is principal of the university. So it's different. Well, continue to chapter 2.
Okay,
And
wait,
then,
let's see some of these comments in here.
okay, sorry. It was this one.
Let's see.
But I like how she'd be embarrassed that Adam is the one telling their project are working. How they not how they not know before they present.
No,
I
but
feel like
he's like their advisor, so he should be getting basically the first look into all of that. And see, isn't that what is going on? Like he's trying to prevent them from turning in something that's
Yeah,
done
if,
incorrectly.
yeah, it
if
was
it
like there wouldn't be any like good like scientific findings from this study, so you had to change your protocol and stuff. But I feel like one of the people, they just wanted to graduate. They're like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
care like what my results are, I just want it done so I can graduate.
Mhm.
But like a good professor wouldn't let you do that.
Yeah, because I think and that happens all the time. There are a lot of people who want to do a PhD just to have the title, and they don't care how they do it. They just want the title. So I believe that's what Adam wants to avoid. But if it's their supervisor, he can totally say like, "This is not what it's looking for. This is not relevant, or this is not enough. So you need to change it." No one they could seem like it seems like the dude who got mad at Olive for dating Adam. He gave him a bad grade. How is that?
Yeah, exactly.
I
Exactly.
was like, why it's a problem? It's your problem with the guy. So go talk to him. Get some balls if you want. But
But yeah, no, it's like getting upset with her, and I'm like, grow up. She's not the one giving you the grade or
yeah,
whatever. Because at this point, it's like, it's not even really about grades. It's about fix
mhm,
it.
yeah,
It's not even really about grades. It's about fix it so you can eventually get your PhD and have your everything. So it's like, no, no, no.
Some inner reflection needs to be done.
Yeah,
mhm.
a lot of them need some inner reflection.
So for chapter 2, I have that scene that she says that Malcolm had to throw off 2 years of research, and we don't never know the why. We just know that Adam told Malcolm he has to scrap 2 years of his research, and that's it. That's a mean person.
Yeah, and then the question there would be like, well,
Why?
why wasn't it caught before? Like,
Yeah, first, why wasn't caught before, and why was he doing that?
so yeah, again, we go back to the he's an asshole, but like I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
so many people try to like her friends including, but Adam is the one constantly thinks bad of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. She keeps telling herself in her brain, "Oh, but
he's
he's
weird.
an asshole. But he's an asshole." And I'm like, "Your friend Anne, that on is the real asshole in this book, okay? Especially once you think about the fact that Olive is demisexual and you have this fucking best friend trying to pressure her into
Mhm.
PDA. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, one, you should already know this. You should already know Olive's experiences in this level, like with romance and all of that. And then you're gonna try to push her to like sit on this man's lap. He just pushed the truck, so give him a big fat kiss, spread this sunscreen on him and shit. I'm like,
And share the bedroom in a conference that they were supposed to be together.
oh, that's
I
the
was
other
so
part.
mad at
That
that.
part. Okay, they did not ask her at all. They did not give her any warning. They just assumed she would be with Adam. And I'm like, y'all were talking about this shit way before Adam was even in the fucking picture.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna do that when you know she's a broke bitch, when you're all broke bitches. You're all broke. And you're just suddenly gonna leave her high and dry. No.
I would have been so pissed.
No. To me, I blocked. I'm
And
like,
you
all
would
of
be
you.
worried for her finding her own living arrangements, having to go transport to the conference by herself in a city she hasn't been in. Like,
No.
no.
Mhm.
It's just a no. On truly is my enemy. Okay. I don't think I've ever hated a main character's best friend as much as I've hated on.
Okay.
Truly. I'm like disrespectful. It's disrespectful. And all that comes down to her. Like even the only reason she did the whole fake dating was for
Was
this
because of
woman.
her.
And then this woman is pressuring her into all this crap. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you should know that Olive has struggled with relationships. And then you're going to try to force her into situations that could make her uncomfortable. Don't you think she would sit on his lap if she wanted to? Like, if
Yeah.
that was within her, don't you think she would just do it? I don't know.
And
No.
they just started dating.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she didn't say, oh, we've been dating for months now.
Yeah, like behind your back.
No.
It's
Anne
just
gets
weird.
me heated. She gets me heated. I cannot. No.
Yeah, and Malcolm knew, so he could like maybe she's not comfortable, maybe it's something new, maybe you should talk to her first. And he was like, no, let her.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wasn't Olive also saying she might be asexual during the
That's
sex
the
scene?
whole demisexual thing. So she is on the ace spectrum. They didn't use the word demisexual, but the experience she describes
Mhm.
is a demisexual experience. So she needs that emotional connection before she
Yeah.
feels sexually attracted to people. Wait, I got lost. Okay, wait. Kat said what?
She absolutely said that
Uh-huh.
it's another reason sex scenes are so awkward.
Yeah. And
And then
then
she said, it was weird out, like, why are you still trying to have sex with her?
I mean, in that part, like for me, it was clear that Olive was interested and she
Yeah.
wanted to engage.
And Adam was a lot interested on her, so.
But I feel for me, actually, the problem was Adam's actions more. Because at some point, she did feel like, okay, let's slow things down a little bit. It's going a little bit too fast for me. And he's like, whoa, let's go. And I'm like, bro, take a minute. Find some
Virgin
inner
energy.
peace. Okay? Take a minute. And then there were literally a couple of moments where he was basically like, shh, I know what you need. Just let me do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
shut up, bro. Shut up. Because he starts with like, no, she's basically a virgin. I cannot do this. And then he's like, no, I know what you need. And I'm like, pick one. Pick one. Either you think she's too virginal or you know what to do, but like it can't be both. It can't be both. No. No.
Oh yeah. So I think on chapter 2 I just have like she was working at midnight, which I found very weird. People working at midnight. Colleges closed and labs closed.
Yeah.
They usually don't let you around very late. But yeah, it's a different college. So
And then
um
Merle said something else about
okay.
the sexual thing.
Okay, it
Uh,
would be more sense if the author actually used the phrase demisexual instead of saying asexual.
but the thing here is, as someone who's ace, I can speak on this. Um, just because you're asexual doesn't mean you're not interested in sex at all ever. Ace people experience a desire for sex completely differently. It's not, everyone doesn't feel it the same way. It's about the attraction. Being ace is about attraction, like feeling the urge to have sex with someone basically just based on how they look. um but like being having, you can be either neutral, positive, or I don't think negative is the proper one, but repulsed, that's the word. Repulsed towards sex as an ace person. Not every ace person is sex repulsed.
So
So
you would say that Olive was more neutral. She was not like into it, but also not like, yeah.
no, because as someone who's demisexual has their own very unique experience.
Mhm.
And usually that experience is that they basically can engage in sexual attraction once they make the connection with the person. And so that does lead to a positive desire, basically, to have sex because they made the connection. They now are experiencing the attraction. And so the sex is possible through that. But an ace person, again, it's a spectrum. And so
Mhm.
there are ace people who are sex positive. They just don't feel attraction, but they would be totally cool with having sex anyway. There's the ones who are neutral, who are like, I don't really give a shit one way or another. So if my partner wants to, fine, but I would be fine either way. Like with or
Mhm.
without the sex, it doesn't matter to me. Uh, the relationship basically matters more than whether or not we have sex. And then sex repulsed is like, absolutely fucking
Yeah.
not. I will not have sex with you, with anyone. I don't care how much I love you in my heart and soul. It's just a no. Um, and then there's people like me who can fluctuate in that spectrum. So I fluctuate between all of it. Like some periods I'm like, absolutely not. And other periods I'm like, well, could be fine, could be interesting. So again, not impossible for an ace person to want sex, be able to enjoy sex, all of that. Because it's completely separate from sexual attraction. And that's my TED Talk.
Thank you, Professor
Thank
Natalie.
you.
Now we can call her Professor. So thank you, Professor Natalie, for your intervention.
Hugo always says stuff when you're drinking water.
It was not intentional.
You're
I promise.
secretly trying to kill all of us.
This part, this
Yeah.
part was so upsetting. This was so upsetting. He was so obsessed with how tight she was. And I'm like, seek therapy. Seek help. Seek help. And if you think I'm not going to bring up him fitting her whole titty in his mouth, you are incorrect because that is seared into my brain. Okay. Her whole breast fitting in his mouth, that is seared on here. I will never forget it. Never
How
forget
big?
it.
How big his mouth is, or how small her breast is?
Basically, I think it's supposed to be that her breasts are really small.
Okay.
And so they fit because they're so small. But again, as well, he is gigantuan apparently. So
So it could be a mix.
so it could be a mix.
So
Okay. So yeah, I
Mm.
didn't realize there were so many layers to ace. I only have one friend that's asexual, but she's what you described as repulsed. Yeah, like not interested in it at all. Yep.
I will label this like live discussion plus a sexual tech talk by Natalie plus I'll make like a full description.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, continue on my notes. On chapter 3, the one I have more. Like she wanted to go to a richer love, like it's a dream for all of us. We always want to get like things. Um
She wanted to what?
when she says like I need to go to a bigger lab, I need to go to a richer
Ah,
lab.
bigger lab. Yeah.
Yeah, every undergrad wants to go to a bigger lab. Everyone likes wants to get like equipment. It's not like something that oh it's she's special. No, everyone wants that. Yeah, she's very scared to talk to people about working with them, where it's very normal because professors get publications by students that work for them because the teachers don't do their own investigation. They have like slaves, which are ours. So for that professor, even if it's like the super massive of that, he's like, yeah, it's one more article, one more thing I don't have to do. So it's not that weird that they will say yes. Now, this is a question for you because I don't have this idea. She says she receives 33K a year and that's a low income. Enlighten me on that. Because for the price of Starbucks, but Starbucks even here it's absurdly pricey.
I think part of her argument is that basically she spends all her money on Starbucks drinks and so she doesn't eat anything because I think
Potato,
literally
chip,
that's part of one of
vinegar
the
chips.
things she
She
just
eats vinegar chips.
and he
Salt and
eventually
vinegar chips.
no, he
Yeah.
eventually is her pimp though and gets her all the crap that she wants to eat anyway, so she's good now.
Because I was like 33K a year, I make 11K a year, so it's triple my income. I
Mm.
was like, it's that low for the States?
Yeah.
Or it's
I
average?
mean,
Yeah.
it's yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, to be quite honest, yeah. I mean, when I lived in Puerto Rico, my mom made like
Hmm.
12K. Um and it was still considered low income, but you transfer that to the US and that is like I'm pretty sure it's below the poverty line
Okay.
for the US to make that much in a year. So 33 for a single person, it's
It's
more or
not.
less average. Like
Yeah.
you're not poor, you're not
Yeah.
really poor.
Poor, poor. You're not dirt poor.
Yeah, you're not dirt poor.
Like you can
Um,
afford. You can
Contact.
afford more than salt and vinegar chips.
yeah, you can afford more than salt and vinegar chips. The other part that's very contextual, and I can't remember anymore where this school is. Like, where are you living?
Stanford.
Because where
Cali.
you live also
Cali's pretty
impacts the expenses you have. And a lot of
Uh,
cities, it's very expensive to live
so
in a
standard
city in the US.
Stanford is California. Had to check.
California is pretty expensive to
Yeah.
live in.
Yeah. And so basically like if you make let's say you make 12K a year, you can have literally just the place you're living can cost you
Hmm.
1K a month. And so there's your whole fucking money. That
Yeah.
if you only make
Mhm.
12K, that poof, everything disappeared. And so it can be expensive. It can be very expensive.
It seems she lives really close to campus
Yes.
too. So
Yes.
I feel
She
like
lives.
her apartment is probably like 2K, 3K a month.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She
So
lives very
yeah.
close because she bikes to the campus.
Yeah.
So that's because I have no idea because when you talk about wages, it's very hard to make the selection. Yeah.
But yeah, Starbucks and salt and vinegar chips is her whole diet. It's her
Oh,
whole
Yeah.
diet.
and frappuccinos and things and bagels with cream cheese and ketchup
Ketchup.
Oh, and ramen. She did have ramen.
and ramen.
A little
So
bit more than minimum wage. Yeah.
Yeah.
and Stanford, California is expensive. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
which makes sense. Um, then she says like there is this PhD student in the 7th year, and I was very confused because it was the 7th year of the PhD or the 7th year of all college. So 3 plus 2 plus the 4. So he was actually in the 2nd year of PhD because no one
oh,
will stay
that
seven
was
years making a PhD. That's insane.
I had a TF teaching fellow or whatever, so they were a PhD student that
Mm-hmm.
like looked over our discussion classes for science class for physics, and she said she was like in her, I think like 6th year of her
Yeah.
PhD, so I didn't think that was that weird.
Yeah. I didn't think it was weird because I do know
There is too
some
much.
people, yeah, that some
Yeah.
of them it takes a really long time.
I don't know how it works, but I know
I don't know
some
how it
people
works
who
either.
are.
I don't know
Yeah.
how it works either.
It's so
Um,
weird because it's normally a 4-year program, so and you stay a lot more time.
so yeah, I don't know if it's that technically they're doing like signing up for less coursework or whatever it is. Because again, I've never done a freaking PhD, so I don't know how it
No,
technically formally
you
works.
will.
Um, so I don't know if they're signing up technically for less, and so it takes them longer.
Or
Um,
because they are teaching, have more time.
so I don't know. I don't know how I frankly don't know how PhDs work in the US of A. I don't.
You can come to Portugal to make yours. I welcome you here.
I think
Okay,
you have to. Do you have to teach in Portugal when you do
no.
your PhD? I feel like a lot of people I know in STEM, at least, they usually have to teach as part of doing their PhD.
So
Like, look, not teach, not like
yeah,
professors, but they're like they help
assist.
out classes. Yeah.
So Kat says it based on the grant, fellowship, and stuff you apply or you get accepted. Okay, so it depends on the program.
Hmm.
I think it varies by department because of the research. So yeah,
Yeah.
but 7 years is a lot of time. You graduate over 30. You get old.
I mean, most of the people I know who have PhDs are in fact older.
Older, yes.
Don't call me that. That's offensive. I'm not that old, okay? Not that old.
I
I'm
feel
still
like a
on
lot of people over here also do 4 years of college and then they work for a couple years and
yeah.
then they go back for the PhD and
Yeah.
everything too. So
That's why they are older when they finish.
mhm.
Yeah.
Then that's a thing that really pissed me off was when she said like my mates on the lab cut me off online to get the equipment. I will say, honey, that won't work for me because that's very easily solved. That is solved very easily. You have a supervisor who takes care of the lab, and then you have your own imposition. Like grow up. Like grow up. Like if that asshole cuts you in line, you will be like, nope, it's my time. Move.
Ugo is like, be a bitch, assert yourself.
You have to. I have colleagues doing that, and I had to be like, no, it's my time. I schedule it, so finish what you have to do quick. It's my time. It's not my problem.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not
Because
wrong.
Yes.
same thing for the faculty members that didn't answer her emails. Like, you didn't answer the first one, you send the second one. You didn't answer the second one. You are in the same college. Go to his office. Like, knock on the door.
Hmm.
Like, I sent you an email. I didn't saw, and then you are face to face. What it can do? Expel you, kick you on his ass. Like move.
Yeah. I mean, and professors have like office hours. Like they're required to have office
Yeah.
hours. Like, okay, maybe they have a long line or whatever. I don't know. But like they're required to have office hours. So you actually know when that person's gonna be in that office.
In the office.
And
So,
yeah,
Yeah.
what Melody was saying.
yeah, we'll go work and then make more time. Yeah, if she was more
Yeah.
assertive, but she's not.
She was a complete pushover. A complete pushover. Like, she is basically made of gummy. She's like, push me and I will do anything. And I'm like, girl, no. Love yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
Love yourself a little bit more.
Especially with friends, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for me, that's something that's so personal. That's why I'm so mad with On. Because I'm like, I would have just cut off that woman from my life. I would have been like, you're actually not a friend. Goodbye. Like, forget you. No, no. Especially the whole thing of like, they were gonna room together for the conference and then they flaked on her.
Like
For me,
the
that's
week
actually
before.
grounds for
The
terminating
the
a
week
friendship.
before.
I'm
It
like,
was
you
not
are not
like
my friend.
because
If
if
you
you
made
like,
plans, just let her know. It's
yeah.
not that hard.
Literally.
And then they blame her like you didn't catch your phone. Like, bitch, I'm working. That's what you should do. Like, because it wasn't like me was like she had 3 months to prepare. No, it was like the week before the conference. Of course, everything would be booked. Of course, everything will be
Yeah.
overpriced.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, they didn't even give her time. They literally just assumed, oh, she's just gonna be with that man. And I'm like, especially for the one who knew, the one who already knew that relationship wasn't even real. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are
Yeah.
what are you doing? I'm like, this is enemy behavior, actually.
He-
This is
he-
enemy behavior. Then you're like,
he-
oh, I totally forgot. Oopsie. And I'm like,
I
no.
think they saw the love they have for each other in their eyes.
Uh-huh.
Sick.
He only wanted to get boned with Olden. He was his own man.
Holden,
Like
yeah.
he was not thinking. Mel says yes. She is Canadian. Yeah,
Mhm. Overly nice and a pot. I mean, I guess.
but even so, there is a limit.
Yeah, there is a limit. There
I
is a
can
limit.
see at work with coworkers, but friends, I just can't like.
Exactly. For me, I'm like, there's a line. I'm like, with coworkers, okay, you have a certain personality
Yeah.
for them, and you try to keep things respectful and try to be as whatever. But I'm like, you're gonna have your friends do this to
Mhm.
you?
Mhm.
They aren't
No,
friends then.
no. That is in fact enemy behavior. No, 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 no.
Ah, it's yeah. And then in the next chapter comes again. She says she has knockoff reagents. I don't understand what that means because there's no such thing as knockoffs unless she's doing them there herself. Because like there's a big brands and there are the smaller brands which are cheaper, but it's a chemical. They are the same. You're just paying the brand.
Yeah, I
I
would
don't
not
Unless,
know.
know anything
unless it
about
was
that.
like if she wants to talk about cells and nanoparticles, which from brand to brand depends, I can understand that. But otherwise, everything else was simple. And then when she said like I stuffed my pipettes on the back to take them home, I was like, what? You were like three in the lab. You were three people, and you are stuffing materials. Can you not share with three people?
No, I think
No.
that was the part where Kat was like, "Yeah, it can be vicious out there."
No, it was
I
like
think I think in Discord she put some messages of like, "Yeah, it is vicious out there on these streets. You gotta take your shit with
like I I
you."
worked with five people on my lab, and we never take everything. It was like in the place, you use it and you put it again. You don't need to stuff it.
I cannot
I
speak
don't
on
know.
it because I only ever did high school lab stuff. And
Yeah.
the lab stuff stayed in the
In
classroom.
the glass,
The
yeah.
classroom's materials. I'm like, that's it.
You don't need to stuff it. If she says like I have 15 people working in the lab, I couldn't understand. But there were three, her and plus two.
Maybe they were that low on funding or something. I have
Could
no
be.
idea.
Even
I have no
even if
clue.
there is only one micropipette, they can share because they are not using it 24/7.
Yeah.
You have to pause it to get things on the fridge. So she needed to start throwing Han, especially since she originally started dating Adam to Han could date her ex. I don't understand all that thing. Like why Han could not date the guy she was into because he was Olive's ex, and when Olive said it's fine.
I I think I
I
can in
get the girl
theory
code.
understand, but like
I get the girl code, but it's like if your friend
realistically,
says
I'm
it's
like,
fine.
I don't know. For me, okay, for me it would have been weirder if like Olive and this guy had like a very seriously relationship. Like they were
Yeah,
together for like 3 years
here.
and
Yeah,
they
it
broke
was.
up. And then suddenly An's like, you know what?
I
I don't want
mean,
to. I don't want to date him.
yeah,
That I feel like okay, but
but
they went on like a couple of dates only. I think she said.
I
Yeah.
think I think they didn't even make a year. It was less than a year.
I think it was like a month probably.
I think literally they said that it was like 2 or 3 dates, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
so
it. And
that's
that was
not
it.
dating.
I'm
That's
like,
taking like touching the scenery, see if it works.
Yeah, I don't think they were like officially together. They were just like, yeah, dating before you are official.
Yeah, Kat is
Just
right. The
testing
girl
things.
code it was the only thing Han did correctly.
Yeah.
Besides that, Han is stupid.
yeah,
Um. Okay, last thing, not to be very big. When she's talking about the conference, and that's a lot of things. She was very surprised to get an oral communication
she was very surprised to what.
to be able to do an oral communication in the conference, to be selected to present her work.
Instead of a poster board to
Yeah,
do the formal thing.
yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't
It's
know how
it's
common
normal.
that'll
I've
be.
never done conferences.
It's
Yeah.
normal. The conference have like a lot of sections for PhD students to present works. It's very normal. It's not like an invited lecture like Adam was because they are longer, but they have real sections where PhD students make oral communications. So it's normal, and that comes to the poster. She says she published posters before, but when the guy from Harvard said like I'm gonna steal your work because I have the protocols, first of all she had the email she sent him, so she has proof that the protocols are hers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she has the posters, and the posters count as publications. So she has all
Oh, I didn't
that
know
the
that.
work is published.
Yeah.
And yeah, the only thing is like she was afraid that people usually are bad at conference, like making a lot of questions. From my experience, people are very friendly. Like they want more to know about the work and to help you than to probably say you're stupid. That's stupid. That usually don't happen. When they see a PhD student, they basically like, I really like, did you try this? Did you saw that? Did you think about they really want to help you because they've been on your shoes and they know how hard it is to think of all the things. And since they have the experience, they like to share.
I feel like she just had like presentation anxiety kind of thing. Because I feel like even back in high school, I'll be like, "Girl, no, I have like a presentation. I don't like asking my classmates questions because like I
Yeah.
don't want them to ask me a question, but I still
Yeah.
get stressed that people will ask me questions. So I feel like it's like kind of like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, the only presentation I did during my master's of like research, I was like, don't ask me questions, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to do this presentation, it was required. So please do not
We
ask me
do. We
questions.
do a lot of presentations here. It's like formation basis.
Yeah.
And if she wants to stay in academia, she will have to start giving classes. So she has to start speaking in public.
Yeah.
If
Oh
she has,
yeah, doesn't she teach classes?
yeah,
Yeah, that's the part where she's probably like an assistant or whatever, a teacher's
so she
assistant.
has to talk.
So she has
Yeah.
like she talks to like at least 30 people every
I
year that
mean, for me, I understand the difference because
They
I
are
was
dumb
preparing
and the
to
others
be a
are.
teacher and I hated having to do that presentation. Um, but it's mostly because I didn't feel completely like I was on top of it and like I would be able to answer everything if they asked me
Mhm.
questions. So I was like, no, leave me alone. While especially because it was outside of my usual field, like the research I was working on was like on history textbooks, and I'm an English teacher. I was preparing to be an English teacher. So I was like, no, shut up, leave me alone. So like I've had no issues as a teacher now. Like now that I've started teaching, I don't get any stress about being in front of my students to give a class or whatever. But those presentations that are like completely a different thing, I don't like that.
I
But
can
the
see
thing
that.
is, it was her work from 3 years. She's
Yeah.
comfortable about it.
Yeah.
It's
But
not
maybe since
something.
she's with colleagues, I guess, and like
She's
people that are
Canadian.
like more famous.
I think it's just because she's Canadian. She's too nice. That must be the only reason.
Is that actually a thing? A
I
I
don't know.
stereotype?
don't know.
Oh,
You
okay.
you always hear that, like, he's nice, he's Canadian.
Oh.
So yeah, the reason to fake date was blowing off procession. She literally went on date to Anne's birthday party.
Yeah, I think that was like one of their few dates between
Yeah,
her and whatever his name was. I don't even remember his name.
Kat says, well, I'm not a PhD student, but while I was getting my bachelor's, I was in a club where we had set up to a conference to introduce students, present papers, and I've got to present. I mostly felt comfortable, but one professor, my teacher, kept interrupting me and telling me I should focus on different areas, and my professor and the organizer had to step in. Yeah, that's just rude. Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
interrupt
that's
people.
rude.
You
That
cannot in the end, but that's just rude. People being rude. Anyone wants to say anything more?
Yes, yes. I
Go.
want to talk about Title IX. I want to talk about Title IX.
Let me see what is Title 9. I have here the ebook open. Let me see.
So, Title IX, that's the whole sexual
Sexual
harassment,
harassment. Yeah.
basically protection. It's a law to
Ah,
protect
okay.
students and other staff, because it's not just for students, it's for
Mm-hmm.
students and staff against sexual harassment. And I have a problem with this fucking book making jokes about Title IX while then at the end choosing to file a Title IX complaint against this man. I mean, he deserved it. Not that I'm against them filing a claim of Title IX against him, but I'm like, how are you gonna be ha-ha-heing for the majority of the book about like Adam being like, oh, this is going into my Title IX claim, and then you're gonna end it with a serious Title IX claim? No,
Go for the throat. Go for the throat.
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm like, not like, yeah, like it's been hard. And actually, Title IX has been stripped of some of the things. Like it used to be a lot stronger to protect people against harassment. And actually, a couple years ago, it it was the language in it was turned more ambiguous. So a lot more things, even more, are falling through the cracks because the language is more ambiguous as what counts as harassment and what can be serious enough to file
Mm-hmm.
a complaint. So I'm like, why are you trying to make jokes and then also treat it seriously? I'm like, either it's a joke or it's fucking serious. But like, we cannot do both. We cannot do both. So I was really upset about that. I was really upset, especially because like I can understand doing the jokes if it's like a coping mechanism thing, like you went through some shit
Mm-hmm.
and to cope you're like making jokes about it. But this is the complete opposite. They're making jokes first and then it ends up with an actual claim because he did sexually harass her. And I'm like, no, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. That did not sit well with me. I was very uncomfortable with that. I was like, no, no. It's just messed up.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a very serious object, but then Adam was always teasing her with that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Kat's saying. Like using Title IX to flirt. It wasn't cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't give me 26 and 35 or
something.
whatever year old vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't like that. I don't like when there's books where the characters are older and I feel like they're teenagers. I'm like, if you wanted to write about teenagers, just write teenagers. Okay.
Yeah, move move PhD to early college and do In My Dreams I Hold a Knife and it's perfect.
Listen, but even like in your bachelor's, okay, I understand still having some clown behavior. But I'm like, you have a PhD student and a man with an actual PhD, a professor with a PhD with this
Hmm.
nonsense? No. No.
Yeah,
No.
but you can turn this into a teen drama. Move them years back. The professor turns into daddy, so it makes the daddy issue happening again. So it's just In My Dreams I Hold a Knife ripoff with older characters.
No.
And
In my dreams, I hold the knife. Truly, those people did not grow. They went all through college and they were still the same petty ass people. I'm like, children, no, no.
But yeah, on that thing, when Ollie was like, "I'm not gonna tell Halden because he won't believe me," I was like, "Girl, he fucking loves you. He is going against like college and everything to go with you."
Yeah,
So
no, and she had literal evidence, and she's like, I won't be believed.
Hugo, you got 3 of us. Stop it.
yeah, but like you were said, Natalie, she had proof, so she was not just a complaint like, "Oh,
Yeah.
he spanked me." No, I had a recording of everything. Even if Adam says like, "Oh no, I trust him," and she will like play this, and he will be like he did it on the restaurant. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
It
Exactly.
was not a situation of he said, she said that you
Mm.
know it will become ambiguous. It's just like, no, I have here the proof. And Adam, as a scientist, it is he will listen to the proof and say and make conclusion.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So all her fear, I'm like, girl, no. I mean, honestly, I'm with Olive. I'm like, do you live under a rock, ma'am? Do you live under a rock?
Maybe he
I,
doesn't like romance.
I guess. I guess. But I'm like, you've never had a single significant other force you to watch a single rom-com? A single one. Just even one.
Maybe he only dated girls who didn't like just like horror movies. No, I remember something, Natalie. This is a
Mhm.
Kylo Ren plus the other one.
Yeah, Ray, fan
Fiction.
fiction. Yeah.
Talk about it because I don't know enough about it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Listen, I'm I'm what would be categorized as an anti in fandom because I do not ship it, so I'm an anti shipper. And Ray and that is garbage. Okay, what is garbage? I'm like, that man literally tortured her. Okay, Kylo Ren tortured Ray in the movies. That's canon. That's in the films. And you want me to be interested in that relationship? No, I am not. I am
Well,
not interested.
he tortured her with this big thing because she was too tight. Similar.
Listen, I can understand many things. And honestly, I can even understand dark romance. But I'm like, no. No. I don't like it in my Star Wars. I don't like it in Star Wars. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But also, Holden tried to tell her without saying
Yeah.
directly. And I believe that because, I don't know, Holden was not comfortable discussing that, knowing that she's going to work with him. And because Holden didn't know Olive a lot. Because Holden tried to warn her, like, he's
Yeah,
not a good guy.
he tried to warn her, and eventually he explains like I didn't have evidence,
Yeah,
so it was just a vibe, a feeling in my heart. But like she had evidence,
yeah,
evidence. I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, but that goes back into the oblivious thing. The whole he doesn't have feelings for me because he has not yet taken a bullet for me, apparently. um, because I'm like, hello, he clearly cares about you, and sure, he's known this dude for years. Okay, but again, as a scientist, you have evidence. You present it to him. You really think he's gonna back
He
And
down?
doesn't even need to like you to like say no to be like canceling the dude
and
from
that's the thing.
for
From the
her husband
beginning,
and stuff.
we see that Adam has a very moral standard. He likes things done correctly. He likes things to be, people to be polite, to be, he's a little bit aggressive, like they say, but he's very follow the rules, and that's one of the rules of society. You don't
Yeah,
assault.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's all about following the rules. And second, Holden had already raised a red flag for him. Like, even though he was like, you don't really have anything to back that up, he would still have that in the back of his head of like,
Mm-hmm.
my best friend, my actual best friend, already has brought up something about this guy. So, like, why would he immediately not believe her if she brought something up?
Yep.
No. And like if he didn't believe her, I'm like, honey, do you even want to be with that man?
No. No. Hard
Do you
pass.
even want to? No.
That's the thing. So yeah, anything more to say about this?
Let me see. Let me see.
Yeah,
Uh, no, we hit everything I had in my review, so I'm good. I'm good.
Melody,
I
anything
think
else
I'm
to?
good. Just love for Holden.
Yep,
Oh shit,
the only good character.
I think
The only
so.
good
I believe you say like Holden was the best character because I froze.
character. Yes, Holden
Yes.
is the best
Love
character.
for
Yeah,
Like,
Holden.
I
forget
I would
everyone else.
I would pick that spin-off between Holden and Malcolm. I will pick that.
Yes, I honestly finished the book and I'm like, are you telling me we're not gonna have a sequel with the two of them for real? And apparently, no, because I haven't heard anything. And I'm
No,
like, I feel disrespected. I'm like, no, where is the Holden book?
And it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
cute.
cute.
It was cute.
yeah, the ending was like cute, but
Yeah.
meh, meh. Yeah, I liked it a little bit more the third conflict act on this one. It made a little
Yeah.
bit more
Mm,
sense
yeah.
Yeah.
than the normal ones that we got.
Yeah. Like at least this one, even though I still thought it was ridiculous that she didn't think he would believe her, at the same time I'm like, well,
I
there is a real context for that
I
outside of that.
remember
Like
why I
for women
think
that happens a lot, they're not believed, so they don't
yeah
want to say it. um
Mhm.
it was more for her in her case. What was more annoying was that she's been oblivious the whole fucking time, so adding
mhm,
this on to that was for me the more irritating thing, because I'm like, if she were different and
mhm.
this happened and she was hesitant and scared and all that, I'm like, I understand. But when you pile it all up for me, I was like, oh my god, no. No.
I remember why she didn't want to talk at first, because she thought that Tom was the PI, the principal, in the project with Adam, while Adam was the secondary. So he didn't want Adam to lose like the big break and the big project. And she
Oh
came
yeah,
to
I
know
mean
that,
there was that part too that he was enjoying the project he was working on
yeah,
with the other dude. So she didn't want to take that from him. But also again, he has an actual moral compass. You
Yeah.
think he wants to not know that he's working with a slimy ass douchebag?
Mhm.
No.
and he only said he will move to Harvard after she knew she was moving to Harvard. So there was like a link. I'm moving and he's moving. Maybe it's because of me. No, no, it's not because of me.
No, never. Could
That
never.
was a little cute. That man was hardcore simping for her, and she
Truly,
had
and
no
she was
clue.
oblivious. And she was oblivious to it.
Uh,
Yeah. So I think this sums up our opinion on this book. It was a
And we did actually go for longer.
it really depends on the book. You can get a discussion of half an hour or almost 2 hours
Yeah.
someday.
So,
All
should
the
we talk about
Yeah.
Holy Sciences and No Brain Cells? And No Brain Cells.
Catalina, all the same. Sorry,
Yeah.
Cat, not you. It's the other one.
So we're
Yeah.
reading in September. What's it called again?
The Kind Worth Killing by Peter
Yes,
Swan,
The Kind Worth Killing.
which is a thriller, which I'm very excited.
I'm
So
neutral.
I already read it, so I know it's good.
you said, yeah, I feel like you said it was good.
Yeah, it's good.
No, I'm excited for the other month. For
The other
October.
one I have here, because I ordered a Kind Worth Killing signed edition on second hand, so I can have my hard copy. So it's not here, but I have here the November pick. No, October pick.
October.
The
Oh,
blood
that was
trial.
pretty.
This
That
is
Yes.
was pretty.
it's the Illumicrate debut box edition. So
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
it's actually signed by the author. So
Ooh, and
Love
red
that.
too.
It looks super pretty, and I am excited about that one.
Yeah. I'm excited because I'm finally reading a book I bought this year. Well, it's the second one. I read the Atlas X before I bought the second one,
Mhm.
which
Okay.
gladly I did. So the second one. Um. So yeah, this is the October pick, and then next week we're gonna release the November theme,
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
and then we start with all the process of suggestions, voting. You all know the drill.
Yes.
The cannibal one was the Nine Elms by Robert Brinza. I can write here. Nine Elms by Robert Brinza. It's this one. And Mel, it says it's trusting my opinion. I hope so. I really like the book. It's very messed up, and I like messed up.
Okay, good to
Alright.
know.
Natalie, you will love the characters. I know that.
Now I'm truly.
He's promising a lot, Natalie.
They
We're
are very
gonna
chaotic.
like it.
It's very
We're
good.
gonna like the characters. Hmm.
We'll see. We'll see.
So yeah, I think we can wrap up this up. Thank you
Yep.
all for joining. This was a very good discussion where I didn't kill anyone.
You only made 3 attempts.
Yeah. Thanks, Hugo.
Maybe next time there is a thriller, everyone starts dying, like in that cheesy horror films.
One
Like,
by one, we
yeah.
get off from the live.
But yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you joined our Discord. If you find us, the links are in the description for the co-host and for the link for the Discord. We have a Twitter also. And yeah, join us for the next weeks.
Yep. Bye, everyone.
Bye.